Good morning, students. I hope you all are fine and taking care of yourself. So, today, students, we are going to discuss on our chapter matter. So, you know very well, student, matter is anything which occupies space and has some mass. Matter is everything which we can feel, touch, and observe. So, as we have discussed, students, that matter is available in its three forms, and these forms are solid, liquid, and gases. And these forms are interchanged also. So, today we are going to discuss what happens when a matter changes into its another form. What happens when solid changes into liquid and liquid changes into gases. Student, you might have observed that whenever we take out ice cubes from the refrigerator, these ice cubes start melting and changes its state. Earlier they were in solid state when they were in the fridge, but when we take out from ice cubes, then they convert into its liquid state. You might have observed that some substances get directly changed into its gaseous state. So today we are going to discuss, I'm going to tell you that what happens, why a substance changes into its state, why a matter convert into its liquid state, and why it convert into gaseous state. So here you can see, students, in this diagram, you know very well all these three forms of matter, all these three state of matter can be interchanged. They can be interchanged by heating or cooling. Solid substance can be changed into liquid, and then if we provide more heat, then that liquid will turn into its gaseous state. And if we cool down that gas, then that gas will again convert into liquid. And if we again provide cool atmosphere to the liquid, then it will again convert into solid. So all these three state of matter can be interchanged by heating or cooling. Now, what can we do to make these solid, liquid, and gaseous change from one state to another? As I've told you, students, then we can change matter from one state to another by heating or cooling. You know very well, when we provide heat to a substance, then we provide them energy, kinetic energy. And when the molecules get kinetic energy, then the molecules and the atom move far from each other. They start vibrating very rapidly. That is why they move far from each other, and one substance get changes into liquid state. Just because you know very well, in a solid, molecules are tightly packed, that is why they provide a particular shape to the substance. And when molecules move far from each other, slightly move far from each other, then they are not, then they are unable to provide a shape to the substance. Volume remains same, but shape is not definite. So here you know very well, when we heat up water, then molecules of water move far from each other, and when we is still providing heat to the water, then the molecules will vibrate more faster and move more far from each other, and then it will convert liquid into its gaseous state. Just because you know very well, in gaseous state, molecules move far from each other. Now let us discuss, student, what is evaporation, melting, condensation, and solidification. Evaporation, as we have discussed, evaporation is the process of changing liquid into its gaseous form, and this change can be done by heating. So the process of changing liquid, the process of changing water into water vapor is known as evaporation. On being heating, as I've told you, when we heat a substance, the molecules of a liquid gain energy. When they gain energy, kinetic energy, and the molecules start vibrating faster. And in such way they drift away, they move far away from one another and become loosely packed. Thus they change into its state, that is liquid from gaseous. Similarly, it happens in the boiling also. In boiling also, we provide heat to the substance, we provide heat to a liquid or solid, then we provide energy, kinetic energy to a substance, and after gaining energy, the molecule start vibrating faster and faster, and so on. They move far from each other and convert the state of the matter. What is melting now, student? Melting is the process of changing of a solid into liquid upon heating is called melting. You know very well, ice cube when take out from the refrigerator, it melts into water. So here also, when we melt a substance, when we heat up solid substance, then solid substance, the molecule of solid gain energy and its molecule start vibrating and moving slightly far from each other. So the molecules become loosely packed now, and thus they are turning solid into its liquid state. Now let us discuss, student, what is condensation. What happens when we cool a substance? What happens when water vapor rises up in the atmosphere? All these processes are quite same, and you might have observed whenever you take out a cool bottle from a refrigerator, then you see fine droplets occur on the surface of bottle. So how these water droplets come on the surface of water bottle? All this happened because of the process of condensation. Condensation is the process of changing gas into liquid upon cooling. You know very well, students, water vapor is present in our atmosphere, and when this water vapor rises up in the atmosphere, then this water vapor get cool, and after cooling these water vapor condenses and form water droplets. Then again after cooling, these water vapor forming clouds and comes down on our surface in the form of raining. So student, when we cool a substance, so on being cooled, the molecules in a gas or the molecules of a liquid loses its energy. When they lose their energy, then they start moving slower. Remember, when we heat up a substance, then they gain energy, and when we cool a substance, then they lose energy and start moving slower. Thus, they are becoming less free to move and run into another state, run into gaseous or liquid state. So, when we cool a substance, then molecules lose energy and they start moving slower and become close to each other. So, if we cool a gas, the gas will turn into liquid. If we cool liquid, then it will convert it to solid. Like whenever we put water into the refrigerator, then water is liquid, the water molecule loses its energy and come near to each other. And then they arrange tightly packed and form solid. Now let us discuss, student, what is solidification. Solidification is the changing of liquid into solids upon cooling. You know very well, water in the tray becomes solid ice when we put in freezer. Similarly, on being cooled, the molecules in a liquid loses energy and they start moving slower and come near to each other. And that is why they arrange tightly. They arrange packed. The molecules arrange tightly packed and provide a shape to a substance and convert into solid substance, convert into its solid state. Now student, let us discuss about sublimation. You all might have seen dry ice which is used for so many purposes. This dry ice is basically made up of carbon dioxide. You know very well carbon dioxide is a gas, and when this dry ice comes directly, when we take out the dry ice, then this dry ice do not convert into liquid. It directly changes into gas. So when a substance directly changes from its solid state into the gaseous state, this process is known as sublimation. You might have observed camphor also while worshipping of God. Camphor is also a substance which do not changes its state. It directly changes from one state to the another state without converting into liquid state. Camphor is available in the solid state. When we light up the camphor, when we provide heat to the camphor, that camphor convert directly into its gaseous state. So whenever a substance directly changes from solid to gaseous state, this process is known as sublimation. And the best example of sublimation is dry ice and camphor, which you have seen so many times.